Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're at. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how I do my bullet journal spreads for each month. So we're going to work on February. The first thing that I do is I make sure that I have a copy of my calendar in front of me. I'm going to count the weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4. What I did in January is I put Saturday, February 1st and Sunday, February 2nd in my January spread. So that way I can start on a Monday, since I always do Monday through, see, I start on a Monday and go through to Sunday. So here, Monday, January 31st is here, and then February 1st and February 2nd, because I don't want to waste an entire 2 sheets on 2 days. And since I'm going to start on Monday, I want it to look that way on every spread. So I have my marker here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I was thinking about what do I want to do on this page, because on each month I'll have something that is inspiring to me, and then I have my welcome to the month page. So we're going to start with my saying, and this month is February. It's about love, but I wanted to focus, because Valentine's Day, I wanted to focus on Jesus Christ. So I'm getting the scripture from John 3:16, which says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." This is from a different version of a Bible than I'm used to. I use the King James Version, so it's a little bit off from that, but it's good enough to use on here. So I'm going to take this out, and this is going to be what I'm going to be centering. It's always hard to get these clear ones off. Okay, so I'm going to figure out, well, where should I put that? So I think what I'm going to do is put it like in the middle here for the centerpiece, and then I'm going to decorate around it with some hearts. So I got these stickers on sale for when they were 50% off. I think it was either Hobby Lobby, or I can't remember, or Michael's. These I also got on sale, and so I'm going to take a couple of these. I am not an artist, so I'd rather use stickers, and I'm trying to do things quickly so that they're not. We'll start with those two. I can draw hearts, but I'm going to decorate. And these ones here, these are like sealers for the back of a wedding envelope, and they were on sale at Hobby Lobby for like 10 cents or something when they were doing a clearance on them. But they're perfect for stickers. So I'm going to put, I always want to put, this, even though this is more of a craft color than a gold, it kind of can pass for gold. So I'm going to like decorate like this and just, put them all around. And then I'll probably, just to make it look really decorative and so on. I think some more pink would be in order, right? So I'm going to take some more of these pink ones, put them in different directions like this, and then probably need a couple of small ones. In different colors, maybe. The blue would be cute, like right here. Now we need something up there. And, trying to think what would look good up there. And if you're a good artist, you can just do all this freestyle and make it look really pretty. So I think that looks good. I might want to doodle a little bit here and maybe add some of my own. This marker here that I like for pink is a Miniso. This is from Japan. It's number 31101. If you want to get this, has a fine tip and a brush, and it does not bleed. See, it doesn't bleed at all. So I like it on this thick. We can kind of go in here. On this thick paper, of course, I'm using my Oxide journal from Walmart, which is the best journal ever. And I have tried so many. This is, if you like dot journals, it has a pocket in here. You can see my reviews. I'll post my reviews on the different journals. So I'm going to take this is my Crayola Super Tips, and they're not bleeding through either on this, where in my left term journal they bled really pretty badly. So you want to always test everything. I use like a back piece of paper to test. So I can do some of that, and maybe, you know, a couple more of these little pretty ones like this. I like the way that turned out. So I'm probably going to do maybe a couple more here of with that light color with these Crayola tips. I like the Crayola tips. So there's that. And I might want to do one more. I've got, let me think. I have a couple of these Tombows that I really like. So let me just see the color difference. It's very fine. See, this is a very fine tip. And then the brush tip is a little, is still nice and fine. So it looks like, well, so I wouldn't need the fine line. I would need this brush tip. It's a thin, it's called a twin tone, and I have a link to them in the bottom. I get them from Amazon. This is where I get the best prices for the Tombows. I love Tombow markers. So I like all of these actually. Let's see what this color does. These are brand new. I just bought, oh, I like that color too, see? It's a little bit hard to fill in, so the Crayola ones, well, no, this is good. I have Tombows that are thicker, but this one's nice. I like that. Okay, that's very pretty. So let me just make sure it wasn't bleeding too. It's not bleeding through. Nope, not at all. Tombows are wonderful for that. So if you want to use your Tombows, my Minosa, and my Crayola tips, so I gathered them up. And I know then I'm going to use these throughout the month of February. Now, the other thing I'm going to use is one more thing. I have these wonderful colored pencils. It's a 5-volume set. It has wood, earth, metal, water, and fire. And we're going to use the fire ones today. I just love this set. I have the link down below too for that set. And you open it up and I've got all my reds and pinks. And so I'm going to grab my pink here, this one here, I think. There's like 2 nice pinks. This one and this one was more a coral color maybe. And then I can fill in some of these places with little lighter ones like this. Whoops. So you can get a nice, some depth to your hearts. I'm not a good artist. I can draw hearts. But if I put, you know, just like a few like this, where I have some dimension going on. Sorry if my table's shaking. I still haven't figured out a way to weight it down with the new camera system I have set up. So I could do some like this, you know, and since in art, we like to have odd numbers. Where was my other pink that I liked? I think this was it. No, oh, here it is. Well, it's kind of more of a purple. So maybe I'll take this one and go here. Oops. And has a different color there. Then you can always take your Tombow marker and outline these, or you could outline them first and then come in and color them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that Tombow that I liked, the brighter one with the thicker, and I'm going to come around like this. See? There. And, you know, you can do it before or after. It doesn't really matter. But now I can bring that coloring through, and I can go ahead and do that more on the page. I probably will a little bit later. I don't want to waste your time with that. So I'm going to put those away. So now I'm going to work on my February page itself. I take a pencil. I always keep an eraser with me, just a regular, this one I got from Walgreens. And I like to freehand. So I'm going to take my Tombow, make sure it's, and I always have paper underneath me to make sure this is the size or the thickness. I don't like, see, that one might be the one that's running out of ink. Let me check this one. Yeah, this one will work. Okay, I think the other one's running out of ink. I have another one though. So I'm going to take and just kind of freehand around, and I won't always go exactly over my pencil. So what I'll do is I'll come through and erase that later. And then I like to do when I'm doing it and not on a camera, I'll do it in more fluid motions, okay? So now you see that I have that. So now what I'm gonna do before I come back through is I'm gonna come in and erase. Sorry about the bouncing on my table. I'm gonna erase my pencil first before I go on to the next, what I'm gonna do next. I'll wipe it all off. So just go through and erase all your pencil. Just trying to see where it all is. And make sure I got it all. Oh, there's a little bit more there. So you just come through and erase all of your pencil there. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna come through here is, it's a little bit thin and I wanna make it a little thicker. So I'm gonna come back over with my Tombow and start filling in and adding some different dimensions like this. Like this, see? I'll come through here, and I won't do it everywhere because you want to make it look, when you're doing lettering, I like to make it look different in different places, like, and then here I'll come in like this, like a tail, and come around this way. So whenever I'm drawing and I see that it's a little bit off balance, I'll come to the other side instead of having to start all over again. This one here looks fine right there, and I'll probably just bring him in here, and come around this way. So that's fine, right? This one here is pretty good. I'm just gonna add a little dimension there, but here I'm gonna come around and make it thicker on the right side. Actually, probably even more thicker like that, okay? Now with February, I don't wanna make my B line go to the right because it's going to make it too skinny, the B. So I'm gonna go the other way. So I'm gonna come down and make it a little thicker and come all the way down to the line. And I'm gonna fill it in. The Tombow markers for writing are just really good. I like them better than I don't even know they consider this a calligraphy pen, but I like them even better. And I have a link to the ones, I always get them from Amazon because they have the best price. Okay, so here, I'm gonna bring that one down here, and I'm gonna do the same thing with my B, where I'm gonna bring it deep into, just on that right side. And then I'm gonna make it look very intentional here with the tail, and come around to the other side just to give it a little bit of a change in direction there, make it look pretty. All right, and so then on my U, I'm gonna start on this side coming down to make this thick part of the letter here. On my U, it's a little crooked, so I'm gonna come in like this again. Remember, we can make it thicker here to cover up my imperfect lettering. And then here, I'm just gonna bring this down. I'm not gonna fill that in, okay? The same thing we're gonna do with the A. This isn't going to be thick. My thick part is gonna come down around here. It's going to be thin on the inside. Oh, actually I made it a little thicker because it wasn't, I did that because it wasn't level with my U. So I'm not gonna be able to come in and do my opposite, what I want it to do. On my R, I'm gonna bring it in here and down, and then come around here like this. And there's my R. Now my Y, it's skinny. See, I kind of made it too skinny. So that means I'm gonna have to make him fat on the left side. So like this, okay? To make it look a little bit, it was just too skinny. So I'm gonna bring it down here. Now, before I do this one here, I'm gonna have to do on the right side, because again, remember, it's just too skinny. So I'm gonna fatten him up a little bit, fatten my Y up. Now I have to figure out, should I go in or out? And I think it would look normal to put it in on this part, as well as here. And then I'm gonna make this very skinny coming down around here, because we don't need to focus there. We don't want it to, your eye to just go there. So now when I flip around though, I'm gonna make it some dimension there, and I'm gonna come in and around. So now after I've done that, I look at it and say, yep, I like that. So, and I spelled February wrong. Look at that. Oh well, it's gonna have to be done. See, so we all make mistakes. I just made a big, huge mistake. Luckily, my my lettering is so squished together. It's going to be kind of hard that I'm missing an R to tell. I could also focus, I could do this. I could create the R and the U together. I could come up here, which is probably what I'm gonna do, and bring it around here and kind of pretend that that's an R and a U together. Now, what we're going to do is I'm gonna take my, I think I'm gonna take the, not the Tombow, I wanna take, yeah, this color here, my Mimosa. And use, let's find my brush tip. That's a little, so on my brush tip, I'm gonna come in here and color inside. Okay, inside the little circles that you find that are closed up. Yeah, that looks really nice, right? This will also take away from my mistake more. But you know what? I'm never gonna start all over again. That's just like ridiculous. I'm not gonna put washi tape over that. I'm not gonna put a piece of paper. We're just gonna go with it. Now what I'm gonna do is I wanna add a little accents to this. So we're gonna take my twin, I'm gonna take the lighter Tombow with the little, this one here with the brush tip, and come in and just add some accents. Just wherever I think would look nice. You know, there's no rules, so you can do it however you want. Whatever you like, okay? Just, you know, if you want to add some dimensions, maybe where we have the R, we'll accentuate the R, coming down as if it's an R, right? And then turning it into the U. You could always, I could always come in and make one black line there to make it look like it's supposed to be that way. I could always do that. And I want to add a little bit over here because we don't have a lot of color down here. So that looks good right there. And I think I want to add one more, just a tiny little, yeah, like that, see? So now I have some nice dimension to it. So the next thing I want to do is how can I decorate this in different ways? And again, I'm just going to do the heart, doing the hearts. So I'm going to come here with the, actually I'm going to do the Mimosa. I like the depth of this color, I think. And we're going to come in here and draw some hearts. And I am nowhere near like AmandaRachLee. She's such a good doodler, and I'm not. So I am just going to, and I'm going to put maybe one right here at the bottom of the page. Come around and just make it fun. And then in the insides of these, we can, you know, do all sorts of things. We can use different mediums. There. So that looks pretty good. It also takes away from my mistake, right? So now here I'm going to do somewhere, I'm going to take some, I'm not going to do stickers on this page. So I'm going to just take my, I'm just going to take my colors that I wanted to use. these two. And we're gonna fill in some of these. Up here, I think I'll do the light one because it's next to all the other colors. Go ahead and fill that one in, and then I'm gonna look around and see, you know, what other ones do I wanna fill in this way with the pencils. You can also use watercolor pencils, work good in this. I've done that before in my journals too. You do a pencil and then you take a brush over and it becomes kind of like a nice thicker color. They're called watercolor pencils, and I have some of those and I like to use those as well. So that's a pretty one there. And I think I'll put this one here. And I can come in and write some, oops. Well, I can finish up with this one and I'll have to sharpen that pencil again. All right, and then I'm gonna come in with my Crayola and come in and fill some colors with this color here. Have nice little different shades of pink that don't bleed through. I don't like ghosting and bleeding. It's it kind of annoys me. And I'm wondering if the I think here maybe I'll just take my Tombow and actually create the whole one right here like this. Yeah, that looks nice, right? So we need to do a couple of those then, because that looks really good. Such a fun pen. I love this. These Japanese, well, the Tombows are Japanese too. The Japanese just have really good art. They have good markers. You can find them all on Amazon. You can't find these in the local stores. There was a store in California at one of the malls. It was a Japanese store. So if you have those Japanese stores in your malls, if you're in California, there's not, you know, where I live in Florida, there are no Japanese stores. So, you know, I just want to make this a little thicker there. So anyway, I like the way that's looking. I don't want to do, see there's two here, so I don't want to do that one. This one would be okay, but I think 3 is good there. So I'm not going to want to fill in that with a different, but we only have, this is heavy loaded on this side, so we'll take this and balance it out over here with this heart over here. There. So balance that one out. Probably bring in, right up here would be fine. This is like their super light pink. It's like a watercolor effect, which I like about it. It doesn't tell you the color name on there, but they're in the pack of 50, and I have the link before for the link below for my super tips. And I think we'll just go ahead and see what I can do with the Tombow here, since it is a very light brush pen, very fine brush pen. It's going to be okay. Just make it something a little different. Color right here. And even a little texture. It's going to add the little stripy kind of texture there. Kind of like lines, right? Yep, that looks great. Okay. So that is the 2 spreads that start the month. So then the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to, I'm going to let that dry just for a second. And we're going to go, oh, little tiny bit of ghosting there. I'm going to figure out which one that was. Oh, that was actually my pencil. No, that was my Tombow. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is we're going to work on, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of plastic. You can save these save these bags. These are from cereals, and crackers, things like that. And I save them. And then you just need to rinse them off. You don't even have to use soap or anything. And then you can put this here so that's, in case this is still bleeding, it won't bleed on that page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my spread for the calendar. So now on my calendar, the first thing I know I'm going to start here. This is where I'm going to write February. And I'm going to stop about there. And each one is going to be 5, I believe. But we're going to count that to make sure. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we skip one. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And skip one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And skip one. So it becomes 1, 2, 3. Oh, I don't know. It can be more than that. So that's wrong. We might have to go back to January and count them. I forget. I thought they were 5, but they might be 7. So let me count just to make sure. We'll come back here to my January real quick and just count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so they are 7s. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to count 7s. So we start here, that counts as 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip 1 because that's going to be your line in between each week. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. We need 4, right? We need 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip 1. So now I just did that and I'm like, I can actually go 7 counting the dots. So I'm going to start over again. I can actually get a couple more in here because I don't ever have enough room on my calendars. So we're going to do it this way. It's okay. These won't be noticeable once you put your lines and everything in there. So let's count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip 1. Let's see if we can go a little bit bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and skip 1. Yeah, that's better. 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And skip 1. So I think sometimes if you have 5 weeks, then you would need to go, I believe January had 5 weeks. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do I'm not going to worry about this side right now. We're going to come in here and make the lines. Even though there's dots, I'm still going to draw my lines. And then here we know is the end of that one there. And then here's that skip. And that's to give a break in between the dates, the calendar dates. Mostly for visual appeal. I like the way that looks. If you wanted one more space to write in, you could just make them back to back. I just like the way this looks because it makes the calendar date, it makes it look kind of like it's floating a little bit more. And I like that. It's whatever you like. There's no rules. It's also, if you do it this way, it takes a little bit longer because you're adding another line and then you have to be careful when you come back through to erase, and stuff like that. So now I have, enough room for a 5th row, which we don't need. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to go this way now. Well, first we're going to make this line here. We're going to make a line that goes down here. Now, because I'm on the camera, I'm doing it this way. But if you were doing this, I would flip the book over. Well, let me see. I might be able to do that for you. Let me just check to see if this feels pretty dry because I would have to get rid of this. All right, so then I'm going to take my book and I'll just show you. And then I'm going to turn it around like this. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to draw my line here now. Okay. Take your pencil and erase whatever's sticking out. Whoops, sorry. The table is shaking when I erase. But we can come through and clean that up later. Then I'm gonna take this, do the same thing, but I'm gonna do it right here. Hopefully you can see that. Yeah, you can. All right. All right, so now we have those blocks, and I'm gonna come through with the eraser and I'm going to erase in between each one of these, because this is where you're gonna have the floaters, right? So I'm gonna erase right in these little guys. I think I did this one, didn't I? All right, now we need to make 4 going across. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna count your dots, which is, we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or you can just count from here, okay? However, it's easier for you to remember where you started. So I'm gonna start from the end. So that would be, this would be 1, okay? So this is because it's one section. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So it goes 26, so we want 13. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Here's your middle, okay? And then we know we're gonna need to divide that in half. So we have 13, which is hard to make that. So we're gonna make, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're gonna go, the first one's gonna be a little skinnier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to make it in between them. Same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and right there. So now we see that. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna take the line. Now this time you can stop in between for the floaters, okay? You don't have to draw the line all the way through, or you can draw the line all the way through and then come back through and erase it. So I'm gonna do it this way. Line. I'm just gonna come in here because my Tombow is gonna come and mark this all over anyway. And then I'm gonna come through and erase like I showed you on the first page. I'm gonna come through and erase the lettering, or I mean any pencil sticking out. What I like really about these dots is it's so easy to divide it all up. So there's that page, right? And you're gonna repeat and do the same thing on this side. So after you've done that, I'm gonna take my Tombow, because this works best for that. I am going to slant my page so that I keep the same pressure on the page, okay? So that's the main thing. And you're gonna try not to lift up your hand, your finger, there. You wanna try to do it that way so that you don't get the stop marks, but sometimes they come. So I'm gonna come through here. I don't use the ruler, some people do at this point, but to me, it's not a big deal. But if you want it super straight, oh, see, so now I just, it makes you just, the flow just go a little weird, but that one worked out fine. As long as you're putting the same amount of pressure, it should be okay. But I find that when I'm slanting and doing this, it works better. Until I get to the other side. So I'm going to show you there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the book over this way. And I'm going to come through and just close these off really simply like this. I just do that through the whole calendar. And if you're following along with me, I do that a lot when I'm watching YouTube videos. I'll do the same technique the YouTuber's doing. So I can do it at the same time. There, I made a boo-boo there. There. All right, now what I'm gonna do is go through, of course, and what? Erase any pencil that I see anywhere. I did pretty good. Yeah, I did that really well. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is, after that, what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna look at my calendar real quick, and you see how I've got my little, I put the dates on the top, the days of the week, and then I've done these little half moons everywhere. So we're gonna go here, and again, this time I'm not gonna use my Tombow. I am going to use, because it makes it a little thick for me, I'm gonna use my graphic illustration markers. I love these. These are water-based. And I'm gonna use the number 0.05, I'm sorry. It's 0.05. I'm gonna come through here and I'm gonna do my lettering. These are just great for writing too. They just don't have the flare that the Tombow does. So the thickness, right? Monday, Tuesday, I always start with Mondays. Oops. Okay, so then I'm gonna come through and I'm gonna go ahead and do my moons first. I don't fill them in, I come through later to do that. So what I'm gonna use is the Crayola Super Tip. That's gonna be a better one to use for this. So we're just going to very lightly come through here and do each of these because I didn't want it really dark. And just come through here. You want to give it a little tiny bit of time to dry, because these are like watercolor markers, so they will stay a little bit wet. I never really like my half moon shapes that I do. I try to get better and better at them, but they don't always look so great. It'll look a lot better once it's all done. Now, I will tell you that most of the time you will have a 5th row here on most of our calendars, but since we don't have that for February, I'm not going to make one because it'll give me room to add some notes. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is, while that's drying, we'll go to do our other side here. So that way we can, when we turn the page, it'll all be done. So now we know that we're going to go make that line go all the way across. And even though there's going to be an extra box, by the way, and that's fine. So I'm going to take my line. You can always think of your imagination of what you can do with that other box. And we know that this one's going to go here. So this time you don't have to like measure as much. You don't have to count your squares and all that because you already know. So this time I'm just gonna draw the line all the way down. Over here, I'm gonna turn the book around to get this side down. I'm gonna draw this line here, right? And so then you can just eyeball everything after that. Whoops. And you come in here and know that you have to do that. Well, actually, really little sneaky trick. Let me see if I can, I'm not sure if that's dry yet. So let's put this here. I don't know if it'll show through good enough for me, but you can see where the lines are. See that? I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but because I already Tombowed that one, I can see the lines. So I can, actually, no, you can't do that with this page. I'm thinking the other one that I'm going to do when I do the layout. I'm sorry, you can't do it that way. I don't know. Okay, so that's not going to work. Anyway, I'll show you the other little trick that I used next time. But here we can make our lines go down. We know that we have to go here. We know we have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We know we have to be here, and you know that that's right there, see? So we just made sure, and then we can just draw these across and come through and erase them all later. And so we can, if you want to check, you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But if you took your ruler across, it's pretty much the same. Not exactly though, obviously. And then you have your, oops, that's not right. So we have to do, see, I made a mistake. I forgot about my floating line. That's why it was off. It's off by just 1. You see that? That's easy to fix. Just take your eraser. See, I told you I make mistakes. And I'm not going to take these mistakes out of the video. I think that's silly, because then if you make a mistake, just like I used to feel, then you're going to feel like, wow, how come I can't do it perfectly like she can? Well, because we all make mistakes. We all mess it up. So here we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we were 1 line too short there. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can almost feel it when you do it wrong. So I almost did it wrong there again. And here we go on that last one, right? So now we know we need 13 across, right? So if we want to, we can eyeball it and think, I'm gonna guess that it's like right here, but let's find out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's perfect. So we're gonna draw that line. And if you wanna put the book on the side, it's easier to draw those lines. And then we need halfway in between that, right? So we're going to count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to do 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, we need 7. Because you can tell that that wasn't going to be right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right there. All right, so now this one, it'll be easier for me to do it this way. If you have the slant, it just makes the eye, your eye doesn't have to look so far. I don't know how to explain it, but if you're doing it squared, it's just a little bit tougher for your eye to see it all. All right, now let's see the line all the way down. All right, so we know that this side here is dry now, so I'm going to take, this time I'm going to take my Tombow, and I'm going to come through and I'm going to do this. And just, so now you see how it starts to look complete. This is a little trick I learned from AmandaRachLee's videos too. Of course, hers is much better than mine, but I'm just been doing this since February, so almost a year now. I've been learning about bullet journaling and everything. Now what we're gonna do, and I'm not gonna put the numbers in but I will use my the graphic one that I showed you. I'm going to use this one to do the numbering. But the reason I'm not going to do the numbering now is, guess what? Because I'll make a mistake, right? Because I'll start counting and then I have to keep looking at the calendar, and it's going to be much faster just to go across. All right, so we're going to go across here, and we are going to make our, let's take it this way and start with our, let's get our Tombow pen. The other pen that I really like to use is the Sharpie, this Sharpie. It's a Sharpie pen, and these do not bleed on the Oxide journals, and they don't ghost either, so I love those. Oh, you know, I don't need to use the ruler, do I? See, I started to use the ruler, and it didn't look right to me, so I noticed right away that I probably shouldn't have been using the ruler. But you can use the ruler if you want to. There's no, it's whatever you feel comfortable. And I like to go quicker. I don't want to like take all day to do this. So I want to get this part of it done. I'll probably have to break this up into several different videos to get it all done. We'll see how far I can go. Maybe what I'll do is just do all one video and then break it up later for you. All right, so here we go here. You can make little curved ends. I've seen AmandaRachLee do that too. And some people, like, you can come here and turn it. To me, it's not that big of a deal. Like there, I might want to close that up, right? There we go. So next, of course, is to do the, to come through and erase everything. Looks like that one day is skinnier than the rest. I don't know if I've had that problem each time, or is it just because I'm nervous doing the video that I got that incorrect, but I did. Oh well, no big deal. All right, so that's all done there. Oops, some more here. You just want to take those off. It's very simple to do. So never feel bad about going over your pencil with an eraser. So here we're going to finish. We're going to take my graphic pen again, and we're going to go Thursday. We're going to go Friday, Saturday. I used to do just the abbreviations, but I like this better. And then I think on my, I just put like a 2020. So we'll just do that here too. That looks cute. All right, and I can put little notes in there or whatever, right? So again, here we're going to take my the Crayola tip and come in and make some half moons for the February. That was a terrible one. And when you're watching these videos, you can always speed up the playback, just in case, you know, you were wondering. You can, if you click on the settings inside the video, if you're on YouTube, just click on that and you can play it back at 1.5 times the speed that I'm speaking and showing you things, or double the time, so you can, you know, at your, whatever's comfortable for you. I tend to go with the same flow, same speed as the YouTuber, because I'm trying to do it at the same, you know, doing the same thing that they're doing. I'm gonna get my Tombow again and come in and do my, see, this flows so nicely. I like it for thick writing like I showed you when I did my February, but I don't like it for fine writing, even though you certainly can. That's why I really like to have both, and this graphic marker is really nice. And again, I am an affiliate of Amazon. It is how I make a tiny bit. Their fees they pay you are so tiny, but you know, every dollar helps. All right, now I think we're safe to say it's dry enough to come in and do our, and remember we're starting with Monday, and remember we're starting on the 3rd. So that's another mistake I've made before. So I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna write with my graphic marker, 3, 4, 5, 6. Make sure that Sunday is the 9th, yes. And then make sure my Monday's the 10th. I always double check, even though I'm writing. I have made mistakes like that before. Make sure my Sunday is the 16th, yes. And then come down here to, and we have a leap year this year. Yes, 23rd, make sure it's the 23rd. And we have, oh, I forgot, we have the 28th right here. Okay, and we have a 29th. So now, so this means for March, I can start, I will put the 1st here, and I'll put March. Okay, so that means when I'm doing my weekly spreads, I'm gonna have March 1st, which is a Sunday, because there's no sense in using 2 pages for one day, especially on Sundays where I don't do as much, like I don't do work kind of stuff on Sundays. I do go to church and do other things. So the day's still really busy, but it's busy doing other kinds of things, and I don't need a full like day devoted to that on a like on a spread. So there you have it. Now you can decorate this with some, I can come in here with some of my hearts, maybe one there, see? And we can decorate the page just a little bit, however you like to do that. I don't think I would take the really big ones. I think I would kind of like stick with the little guys. Like that looks cute like that, right? So you can decorate those however you'd like. So that is the calendar. Now I will show you how to make, in another video, I'll show you how I make my tabs. And this is just a really cool, this is just a, I don't know, I found them on sale somewhere. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is our weekly spreads. So our weekly spreads are going to look like this. All right, so it's the same kind of thing like the calendar, except for we're doing 4 Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then an extra place. I put my big 3 that I work on. I work on 3 big 3 business things every week or every month. And then I break it down into weeks, like what is the biggest part of those big 3 can I do that this week to get closer to the goals. And then I'll also write down 3 personal or family, things like that, goals for the week. So again, we know we're just gonna go from one side to one side and then go right down the middle, which I believe is 13. So we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, right? So it's 13. That's really the only line you need to know. And then you have 2 in between. And this goes all the way down. So you look at this and say, okay, that's what we're going to do. So this one, I'm going to show you a little trick that works pretty well. So we're going to take a pencil the first time and we're going to do 2 sides. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to draw that right there. Then I'm going to come and draw this line down here. Of course, we need to turn the book to do that and slant it. Makes it easier. This is going to come all the way down because we're going to know that we're going to have one thing in the middle where we're going to have that little floater again, right? So over here, we're going to take this side here. Again, if you want to go straight on, you can. If you want to, I like the curving the book because I feel like I'm always, if I go just this way straight across, I always feel like I'm doing a crooked line for some reason. I'm going to turn the book all the way upside down to do the bottom. It's just a little bit easier than trying to make the pencil go the other way. Okay. It's a little trick I learned too about this. It's much easier to come across this way. All right. Next thing that we're going to do is we know we're going to need to go down the middle. So I'm just going to come right down here in the middle. Now what I could do is just have, slanted the book again. But I've been doing this for a while now, for many months, that I think I'm okay there. Now what we want to do is we need to know how many down that is. So I'm just going to cheat and go back here instead of counting and dividing. So I'm going to go, I'm going to start with my 1 here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I know I need 16. So I know I didn't count that one. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I know I'm going to go here to 16. I'll draw that line there. And then I'm going to draw the second line, my floater, right? And there you have it. It's that simple to do those days. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my Tombow, like I showed you before. We'll erase later. And I'm going to draw this line. This might be easier for you to turn for that bottom line again because it's making your hand go strange, right? Your fingers go a little strange. It's a tight, I don't know. You just have to kind of have, I'm going to go around this way. Because I want to show you the little trick that I do. Just remember to come through and erase your, see how it's harder to go here? So I'm going to turn it and go this way. It's easier if you can put your hand down on the paper and to be able to have your balance and you don't shake as much. All right, so that's that side there. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the other side really quickly, and then I'm gonna show you how you don't have to measure. So if you do 2 of these, you should not have to measure. I might be incorrect about one side, but let's see. So this time we're gonna go and do the same thing with the ruler, but this is easier, remember, because we already know where we're going. Drawing that all the way across. We already know that we have to go turn the book and go all the way from the bottom to the top. We already know that, so we're just gonna repeat that. And remember, we're gonna want 4 weeks. So we're gonna need 4 spreads. Let's turn this around and do it over here. All the way down. And I'm sorry, I have some background noise in this video. And I'm gonna go here, make that easier for me. Now I'm gonna turn the book back around and I'm gonna know that I'm going here and here, right? Yeah, so I don't even really need to, sorry if my head got in the way anytime, because it's hard to see. You have to kind of like bend over to see. And then here's this line here. And then you might want to count here just to make sure, right? So we know we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Remember, always 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we know it's right here. Sometimes I do have to count a couple of times because I could forget. And I'm going to draw this down here like this. All right, and I come back later to do my labeling, but so what I want to do now is I want to take my Tombow and I want to draw my lines again. So, oops. Sometimes when I'm going really fast, I might go a little crooked on my lines, but I don't want to spend hours and hours doing spreads. When I do decorative journaling, like in my junk journals, that's when I want to take my time on originality and things like that. This is for work, home life, and all that. This got to stay really organized. All my whole life is in the bullet journals. So there's that. Now, let me show you. So before we go in and write on here, I'm going to flip the page over. You see how that is all right there? So now all I have to do, I don't even have to use the ruler. I don't have to use the pencil. I'm just going to come in here. And no, it's not ghosting really, especially since we're just putting one piece on top, you know, one layer on top of the other. It works. I don't consider that true ghosting. So because when you're actually writing and stuff, it really doesn't show through. But I do like that there's that little tiny, and it only happens when your light is good. So if you're doing this in a dark room, you're not going to be able to see this, see the lines through. Because like I said, the ghosting is, oops, not really there, right? So now what you do is you take this one. You don't do this one. Take this one and move over and do this one. I'll show you why. All right, see? So you get, pretty soon you can do these pretty quickly each month. All right, so now what we're gonna do is come back over to this one. So make sure you're always counting. This is the first week, right? We need 4. This is your first week. This is going to be your second week. See how you have that right there? So we're just gonna come right over here and go over it. That's the little, and guess what? I figured that one out on my own. I didn't see that on a YouTube video. I said, oh, we can do it this way. So you can do it this way. And it just makes it a lot faster, right? It's skipping the pencil, skipping the ruler. Now, some people have really shaky hands, so they might not be able to do it this way. And just keep turning the book to get that nice leverage of holding it on your hand, right? And it looks like this side is bigger than this side. That's okay. I could probably have gone down one more, but I think we're okay. I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, I probably should have made this the top one. So I don't know how many I counted down, but it looks like this is more than this. But again, like I said, I'm not gonna worry about it. All right, so we have 1 week, we have 2 weeks. Now we're gonna do, this is gonna be 3rd week, and this is the 4th week. So we're gonna come through here again and repeat the same thing. Especially since my last days of the week are not that busy. So, I mean, you know, they're not, I don't have as many things to do on, I still have things to do, but they take longer, and there are different kinds of things to do on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. My hardest days of the week are the ones that have the most to do are Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And you start to get used to which way to turn your book. That's a nice line there. As the book gets clunkier, and you have to take more time in turning the book around. All right, so that was the 3rd week, right? So now we have to do, unfortunately, there's going to be one, we don't have one behind this one. We could do it because on the back side of this, I'm going to glue a habit tracker, but we're not going to do that. So we have, let's just make sure we have enough weeks. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and this is going to be the 4th week. So here we'll just go. And I know pretty much what to do here. Oops, I can get rid of that. I don't need that there anymore. Well, I will. Oh, well, I will, because I have to put the dates on here, but that's okay. I'll wait. This one I don't know, so I'm going to have to be careful here before I do that part there. I think I'll go across here. That might make them each a little bit bigger too. And then here I'm going to count. So here I do have to use the ruler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Right there. So I won't have to, I'm not going to use the pencil on this one. The more that you do it, the more you might not need to use your pencil. Just wanted to show you both ways to do it. Okay, so that's your 4th week. So now what we're going to do, go back to week 1. Okay, now what we're going to do is we are going to look at my thing here and make sure what date we have. First, I'm going to take my graphic pen, and we're going to write the days of the week, and we start with Mondays. Okay, so my Monday's going to be up here, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then Friday's right here, Saturday, and Sunday, and then tasks. And I usually put my tasks in here instead of above, like that, okay? So we're gonna go through and do all those. Then you're gonna come back through here with your Crayola Super Tips, and you're gonna make your, just like you did on the calendar. I'm gonna come through here. Well, I didn't need to make it that big, did I? It's kind of ugly looking. I gotta do them a little bit better, maybe like this. That's prettier. It's hard sometimes for me to get the right kind of angle. And we don't do one in the tasks. Remember? And we're going to come back through with the Tombow and do your outlines. Just to give it like a finished, you can decorate these however you want. If you want to go through and do hearts all over, draw, whatever. I'm not going to waste my time doing that because for me, I have to work and I have 3 businesses to run. And this is kind of like my hobby and what I enjoy doing, but I still need to be practical and can't spend, and I have a child, I have 9 children. That's Monday. I want to make sure that's the correct day. I have 9 children. I have 6 children I gave birth to and 3 wonderful stepchildren who I consider my own. And Friday's the 7th. And I homeschooled my birth children all the way to colleges. And I have 1 more at home. So most of my children are married and with children of their own. But I have a 17-year-old that I had late in life. And he is now a junior in high school in homeschool, and he's dual enrolled in college, but he plays baseball. So a lot of my time is focused on that and getting him ready for college. So we're right now, this is the year where he starts to contact coaches and all in different colleges to see which college he wants to go play baseball at and who's going to give him the scholarship and all that. So here we're going to do our dates again. I just went up because of the Y's. I didn't really want them. I don't like them falling down into the box. And then we have our tasks. Okay, so that's how you're going to do the spreads. I don't think I have to do all of these for you to get the idea. I think you kind of get the idea there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the end here. And on this page here, we are going to put the habit tracker. So that's the next page I do is my habit tracker. Now, the one thing I hate is I just have a pet peeve about it. Most people will use a glue stick or glue or tack, whatever kind of glue they have, but they're all water soluble. And so when you put it on your paper, I don't care what kind of paper you put it on, it's going to be lumpy and bumpy. And then when you turn this over to write, and this is so smooth. These Walmart XC journals are so nice, and they're 100 gram, 110 grams of paper weight. And I just love how smooth they are to write, and I just love to write smoothly. So I don't like bumps. So what I do, and I'll show you what I do, is I'll make sure I have paper underneath me here. I always keep all my scratch paper that I get from my printer that I don't need. Instead of throwing it away, I leave it for the backings, and I'm going to use rubber cement. So you can get any kind of rubber cement you want from any store. And I'm just going to take the rubber cement and just make sure you have air flowing or something, that you're not closed up in a room where you have to smell the smell. This will make it super smooth, and make sure you got your ends. And what's great about this is it can sit for a little bit and still be sticky, and it can move after you've put it on. So it's not like a fabric tack glue or something like that. It'll still move around, so it's good. Make sure you got all my edges, close it up so you're not, because it will dry out really quickly. So you want to make sure you're always keeping it closed, even if you're going to use it right away again. So I'm going to pull this up and move that paper away so my book doesn't stick to it. And I'm going to come down, and I already have those nice lines right there, right? To know where I'm going to put it. And then I'm just going to come here, smooth it out. And I'm going to grab I just have a little old, like a credit card or gift card or whatever, and you can just come through and make sure. What I love about rubber cement is you just take, if the glue comes out like that, just rub it right off. So I'll come through here and make sure I've got it all off like this, right? So that's how quick it is, and it's so nice and smooth. So I'll do my habit tracker there, and on the other side it's still very nice. You'll see there's absolutely no lumps or anything on there. Now I won't need this anymore, so let's move that. All right, so now the next page is going to be my goals, and again, I'm just going to do this quickly. This time I'm going to use my Mimosa pen that I like, and I'm going to use the brush part of the tip. And I'm going to put February. I'm going to draw my February. Let's do it right this time. Make it nice and thick like that. And then I'm going to take my Tombow and just write goals. And then this page will be for my goals for February that I'm going to write down. And I'll use the regular bullet journal. For my bullet journal boxes, I always use the Sharpie pen. If I show you real quick here on when I'm doing, when I'm doing the boxes, those little boxes when you're checking off like a bullet journal stuff. So that's what I do. I'll put the little boxes there next to those goals. Let me put my paper right here just to make sure that February doesn't leak. Now on these 2 pages, I'm going to do my next tracker, which is my food tracker. So those, I'm going to use 2 of my habit trackers. So I'm going to put one here and one here. There's a list of foods that help you not get dementia, that help you with antioxidants, helps your immunity system, anti-aging, detoxifying, and anti-inflammatory. So I have a list of the 10 top foods for those things to do, to keep myself healthy. And I write them all down. I don't eat them every day, of course, but it's just a reminder and a tracker for me to let me know. Now I'm going to feel this, and I think I can use that again. So I'm going to put this right here on the same one that I rubber cemented before because it shouldn't ruin it at all. And I'm going to rubber cement again. So just put a glob of it down in the middle and then pick it up and make sure you bring it all the way to all the edges. Just make sure you got your edges covered really good so it doesn't pop up on the sides for you. There we go. That's good. So that one, this has gotten so fast and easy. I cut these to size, and these habit trackers I found online for free under free printables. Move the paper out of the way because we don't want it to, all right, come in here and know that I'm going to fit this right there. Just push it down. It's so nice because it's not like glue where you have to spend 10 minutes trying to get it all out. Now on this page here, I want to do the same thing. And that page is getting kind of sticky, so I'm going to turn it over and see if I can use it on the other side too, which I can. So I might go ahead and use it on this here because I already wrote on that one. All right, and so then here, I'm going to take it and do the same thing again. So on the foods, I found out, because I juiced for like a year to lose like 50 pounds one time. And I bought the blender after that and the juicer. And so I had this list. Can't remember where I found them from. I think it's from my blender website. I have a, what is that blender called now? I can't remember the name of it's not a Ninja, it's the other one. But a Bullet. And so I have the big Bullet one. And they have on their website the top 10 foods in each of those categories I told you about. And so I made a list of those and I write them down each month. And then I just keep track of them and I fill in a little place whenever I do eat them. And it just helps me to realize what I should be eating and focusing on those foods instead of other foods. And one of those foods is I eat a Brazil nut every single day. So now this is kind of sticky, so I'm going to fold that and throw it away. And I have those done. Okay. So those ones are done. And so anyway, I eat one, and it gives you all of the selenium you need for an entire day. So I never have to worry about that, right? And I only eat one a day. They're like 32 calories, so I can't eat, you don't want to eat a lot, but also you don't want to overdo it on your selenium either. So I'm going to go look here, check and see what my next page is. So here's my 2 pages there. Okay, so my next one is my gratitude tracker and then my affirmations. So I'm going to turn the page over. And again, you're going to want to come through here. It's going to shake my table when I do that. And just rub off any rubber cement that comes through. I love it. It just like turns rubbery. All right, so I'm going to turn this page, make sure that that's nice and laid down flat there. Now for my, let's put this over here, gratitude tracker. I had bought this from a girl on Etsy, so you might want to go there to look for it. So I'm going to take my cutter and I'm going to cut this down to size, and I'm going to cut off the April as well. So hopefully you can see me do this. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you can see good enough, right? And come in, I want to get really tight in there. That's kind of not that tight, but okay. Well. Yeah, I might have to get it closer in. And then here, we're going to have to get really close because otherwise the page doesn't fit my A5 journal. I'm going to cut off the April because it's not April, right? There we go. And then, so that's part there is there, but now we have to fit it, and it might not, you might have to do some trimming with some, with scissors. So yes, definitely. See, so I don't want to put it through my trimmer again because I have to get too close to the edges. So I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut up really close to that edge. Same thing on this side. And I'm going to trim just a tiny bit down here. Sometimes I get it right with the cutter, and sometimes I don't. All right, now let me see how that looks. Yes, that's perfecto. Okay, that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And see how fast I can get through my, the more you do this, the faster you get. And now I'm getting pretty fast at getting through the spreads, you know, the whole monthly spread. So again, I'm going to take because I'm going to write on this page. Now, when I'm doing just decorative things, I'll use glue sticks, glue, things like that. When I'm doing junk journaling, I use a lot of glue, a lot of tacky glue and things like that, because I'm not going to actually write on a lot of this stuff, but anything that I'm going to write on. And so when I make journaling cards, I use rubber cement because I like to write on smooth surfaces. It's just me. And I write a lot. It's like, I'll move the paper out of the way, bring my journal down here. I love to write. So before I did bullet journaling and before I did junk journaling and book journaling and all that, I just wrote in journals since I was 12 years old. I have so many journals of just all writing on the whole page. I never knew you could decorate pages when you journaled. And since I'm not an artist and I'm not a good drawer, I don't think I would have ever, you know, been attracted to it in the first place. But I tell you my story if you've listened to my welcome to my journaling YouTube channel. I do have in there a video that I explain, you know, how come I started doing this and tell you a little bit about my story. All right, so this one here is going to be affirmations. And again, I think I'm going to go with my pink. But this time I'm going to go with the skinny side, the fine tip side. Yeah, this is going to be, because it's too many, the letters are too much, too close. There's too many letters in this word for me to use the thick side. And I'll come through and decorate it later. So do some more little lettering things like I showed you before. So there's the affirmations. So what's the next page after affirmations? Let's see. After affirmations, we have, we have our gratitude tracker. Then I have my log, and there's one more thing. Okay, my mood tracker and my currently. All right, so the next page is going to be, first I got this mood tracker online. It's free. And we're going to cut that one up. Here's my currently, which I love. I bought that from Etsy. And then here, this was free online. So this is just a really cute way to keep track of your goals. And I just like it. So I use it each month. It kind of just helps me keep track of my goals. Again, this one you're going to have to really know how to use the cutter getting really, really close in. And sometimes you're going to have to use your scissors as well. Hopefully you can see. Oh, I got pretty close that time. This one you have to cut off some of the top because it won't fit in the A5. And this one, I'm not sure. You know what? I can bring this down here and maybe it'll go upwards because I saw a lady do that on YouTube. Mine always gets stuck when I get to this part. There, that worked really good. Okay. So maybe I'll do this for this very bottom as well. And that way we don't have to take time to cut it. Yeah, that looks a lot better. So I try, when I come down this way, it always gets stuck and jammed up there. That should work. I might have to trim that just a tiny, tiny more bit there, but that should work. All right, so let's get that one. Oh, this is too sticky. I got to get another piece of paper for the glue, so hold on. All right, we got a couple more. Oops, this should work. That's okay, it's not. All right, so let's put the cutter away. The book, journal, put it in here and see. And if you want the number, see, to show up, then you would have to trim it down, but it doesn't matter to me because I'm not going to log this in my index. So that'll work. So here I go. I'm going to do it again. Just glue this page down. There we have it. Just make sure you get to the sides and everything really nice and thick on there. You can get this on sale. Like I'll see them on sale. One time, I think, I can't remember where it was. Oh, it was at Walgreens. They were doing a clearance on it and I got them for like $2.19 each container. And that's a great price. They're usually at Walgreens, they're usually like $4 something. At Walmart, I got a really big jar for $3.97. I wonder if I have it so I can show you the difference. Yeah. So at Walmart, I found this one for $3.97 compared to this one for $3.97. So this one's 8 ounces, this one's 4, so double the amount. Only problem with the big ones is I want to make sure it doesn't dry out because over time, the more you open it, it can dry out. All right, now on this side here, I do what you think about, you bring about, and I do some more like my kinds of thinking. So I'm gonna take my Minosa fine tip, sure, yeah, and I'll just do some lettering here. So then I'll just write in there some things. The next 2 pages are going to be the currently and my mood tracker. So those are the last 2 main pages that we do on the spread. And then that'll mean that I'll take the sticky part, turn it around to a plain piece of paper, put this one here, but then again, we have to cut first. So we'll move the book out of the way for a minute. Come in here. And we're going to do the currently on the left side and the mood tracker on the right. Again, you've got to come in really tight here so that you don't have to sit there with the scissors and cut it off. But if you do, it's not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. That should be nice there. Oops, here I'm going to come up on this one because again, it doesn't seem to work really well for me going the other way. That's nice. And I'm going to cut off a tiny bit off the top there too. It'll make it a little cutty off, cut this part off, but that's fine. That should be perfect. Smooth papers out of the way. And while we're here, actually, let's go ahead and do the mood tracker as well. So we don't have to put this back here because this is the last template that we cut out. You see, you can do these for on the really, really inexpensive. You don't have to spend a lot of money journaling. I'm planning to do a video on how to make a journal. This is showing extremely inexpensive, and I should go through that sometime, actually. I should do a video on just how much the supplies and how much it takes to do one. But I'm planning to do one on how to do one for free with just stuff around your house, which is going to be fun, I think. And I'm going to cut this off just a little bit there. So that should be, oh, that's plenty wide, and I think that's going to be perfect. Let's move these out of the way. All right, so now I'm going to take the book. Let's make sure that they fit correctly. Make sure yep. And so down below here is where I'll draw my colors and what they mean each month. And each month I use different colors. Here's currently that fits perfect as well. So we're going to do both of these real quickly. I want to show you one more thing before. So this is all the templated part. So the next part, well, I have one more page. It's called my lead tracker for my leads for my business. And I keep track of them to try to keep me more accountable because I love sales calls and I love, talking to people on the phone and all that. But it's hard to make the time for it with all of the time constraints and other things. I have to take care of clients and customer. I do have customer service and I have a COO. However, there's still a lot that I get involved in, and I do all the trainings for our team and things like that. And so I do need to focus on lead gen more. So to keep me more accountable, I created just a little spread, and my goal is each month to fill it up with leads. So I'll show you that real quick. So anyway, so there's that page there. We're going to do the mood tracker, which I'm wondering if this is unsticky enough. Nope, have to get another piece of paper. When it starts to stick together too much, you don't want to use it. Because you will ruin, it. So one more piece of paper. We'll do another time. We'll do some interesting things to do outside of your spread. So what happens is that's all my spreads, right? And that's the bullet journal part. But I journal every day. So I write a lot, and I like to decorate my writing and, use stickers and ink pads and stamping, cutouts and washi tape, which is my absolute favorite is washi tape. So I'm going to push this in here. There. Where I'm going to come back through here and straighten it all up later for the sake of time. Now I'm going to put here, and so this next 2 pages is going to be my lead tracker. And that I just do very simply with my Tombow, and it's not anything fancy. So it's just going to look like this. And then I'll just go like this. And then my goal is to fill up both pages with leads during the month. I write down the day that they call me, or the day that I may return an email or a text or a Facebook message or WhatsApp or whatever it is. I get a lot of referral traffic, so a lot of referrals. And so I'll do that. And then I will keep track of the date and all that kind of stuff. So then after that, I will have at the very end, right before the month ends, I have one piece that says, so here it says January accomplishments. I'll just put a really simple one. I know AmandaRachLee does really fancy ones, but I can't. I'll put February accomplishments. So what happens now is this is all the things I have to have, right? For work and for personal life and everything. So the rest is going to be for journaling. But my goal is in these Exceed journals is to do 4 months in each journal. So I come back here to see when did my January end. It ended 71 pages. But some of those pages are goals. So if I'm going to come over here, I'm just going to look to see where my goals, where it started. So it was 18 or 19, right? So then I'm going to go, okay, so 20. So I go 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It's like 50 pages, right? So 10, if I go 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. So that's like, so I need like 50 pages. So if I'm at 70, if I start at 72, then I need to add that to find out what page number I'm going to be starting March on. Okay. So just to make sure, I am going to use a calculator. So I'm going to take my, what did I say? It ended at, I ended at 90. Where did I end for the January again? 72, right? 71. Okay, so I'm going to say that February started on 72 because I need that. Okay, so I'm just going to go 72 plus 50. I have to go to page 122. Okay, so I'm going to go look in here and go up to 122 and know that right here is where I'm going to start March. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pencil just to march it and so I don't go over, and I'm going to write March here, and I can come back here and erase that. I'm also going to use a marker of some kind, not this one, but I have two, so I could probably just take this for now. And then I know that I have these pages to do my free journaling on. So when I'm doing my free journaling, I'm going to do things like, and I'll just kind of show you really quick without showing you what I write, but I'll do like, I'll do spreads like this, you know, with the butterflies or something like that, right? And so just decorate it. So here's one that I just started last night. So we'll do something, you know, something along those lines. And so I'll use stickers and other kind of decorations, but I'll also do things like, and I'll do some tutorials on all these. I won't have enough. So if I go to page 120 with this journal to 121, this is not enough pages for a month for me, okay? I write at least one full page a day, sometimes two. So I'm not gonna have enough room in here. So there's three things that I do for this. One is I will add other pieces. So let's say I wrote on this one. I'll come in here with washi tape and I'll write on here and here and do something, and then I'll washi tape this in so that I have more. So I'll start to make the book chunky. I will add an envelope thing and stick note cards in there. Different things like that. I will take paper, write on it, and then put it in like an accordion. So there's a lot of different things we can do there. Then also, if it's getting chunky and I'm getting too much, then what I'm going to do is I come over to my scripture journaling. And in my scripture journaling, it's just regular, it's just regular lined paper. It's not a dot journal. And so I'll decorate it, add stickers and different things like that. But I'll come over, and I keep this anyway, but a lot of times I will come over here and make up some of the writing by putting it in here. And then I also have other journals that I buy. And if you saw, I did a video on the different journals that I bought for the last summer. And I'll take one of those and start writing in one of those on the leftover stuff. And I'll make a note in here that I wrote in that other journal. So that's about it for this. So that's doing 1 month and everything that you need to do in 1 month. So you can do that on your own, follow along or get other ideas. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment below. I would really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching.